Hello, beautiful souls and soulettes. How are you doing? Today I'm talking about something, a very naughty thing that the emissaries do to wake people up. In fact, 4 naughty things that they do. I'll tell you all about it on the other side. So rightly enough, people need to wake the fuck up. Do they not? And so I was talking to the emissaries the other day and they said, I said, how are you going? What are you up to? And they said, oh, we're here creating. And I thought, well, it's interesting. Creating what? And they said, creating scenarios to wake people up. And I thought, whoa, I want to know about this. Because I might be able to copy it. I might be able to do what they're doing and wake people up. No, I won't, because we aren't supposed to wake people up. They have to wake up themselves. We can try. We've all tried. Doesn't work. Falls flat. Like a flan in a cupboard, like a pancake on Shrove Wednesday. But the emissaries do. So they shared with me the 4 things that they do to wake people up. So I'll tell you about them now. Dirty trick number 1. They create situations in which people lose things. And I said to them, lose what? And they said, could be anything. Health, relationships, partners, money, whatever. I said, why would you do that? They said, well, it's a way of getting people to start to examine their life. When things are running in status quo, people don't look at their life, they don't look around them, they don't question. But when you lose something, that's when you start to question. They said that we live in a world in which we say, I'm all right, Jack. It's always happening to somebody else. There's always, it's down the road, it's in the town, it's in Iran, it's in Iraq, it's in wherever, yeah? And they said, when it happens to you, then it becomes real, and then you start paying attention. And they said, the bottom line is, people must lose things to wake up. And even if that thing is innocence, the innocence or naivety, when we lose, I remember losing my innocence when I watched the documentary on the Twin Towers, and that was the loss of my innocence. I lost my belief that all was well. And the emissary said, making people lose things like that, serious stuff, they said it may sound harsh, but they said understand that A, the person has already given permission for that to happen on another level. Right, not here, they would say no, just leave me alone. But on another level, they've already given permission. And they also said, and just remember that nothing's real. This is not real. So we don't have to take it seriously as though we're real. How very dare them to, get them to lose their partner. That's awful. They said, it's not real. And they've already chosen to do that. So they're just putting something into motion. It's like they are the facilitators of people's plans, I suppose, to wake up. Dirty, rotten trick number 2. And they said, we create conversations that help people to wake up. And they said, conversations with random people. And I said to them, yes, I know about this. I know about these conversations with random people that wake people up. I've heard about them. Why has it got to be a random person? Like, we are close to our family, we're close to our friends, we're trying to wake them up and they're just going, shut up, I'm not going to be your friend. If you keep on talking, I'm not going to be your friend. I won't invite you for Christmas dinner. And so we have to shut the fuck up. But then they talk to a random stranger. There's somebody in the queue in Tesco or in wherever, and they go, hey, I was talking to somebody the other day. And you know what they said to me? That the bloody blah, 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 blah. And you think, I told you that 3 years ago. I told you that. I sent you various bits of information about that. And a random man in a queue has told you that, and you believe him. So I said to the emissaries, why? Why does that happen? And they said for the same reason that when your partner or your mum gives you a compliment, you say, well, you would say that because you are my mum, fill in the gap, partner, does my bum look big in this? Of course it doesn't, darling. Well, you would say that, wouldn't you? Because you love me. And so what happens is this, and it happens a lot, when we perceive that somebody loves us, we think that the secondary gain in what they're telling us, that they're telling us something and they've got something to gain. They want to keep us happy, they want to make us feel right or whatever. And so we dismiss what people who actually know us, know what's good for us, know what's right for us. We often dismiss that. And we just listen to just random people. They go, yeah, I like that. Why? Well, the emissary said that when somebody who has nothing, no link with us, nothing to gain and nothing to lose by telling us, and they tell us something, then our mind says, I should listen to that because that was given freely with no attachments at all. And so maybe that's important to listen to. That's what they said. And I agree with them. I rather agree with them. I certainly know that people that you're close to don't want to listen to your advice. They want the advice of some random stranger. So let them have it. And that's what the emissaries are going to do. The emissaries are creating random conversations where people are given the information. They said it might be a conversation, it might be a television program, it might be an article, it might be something online, but they are bringing the information to the people. Dirty rotten trick number 3. The redirection of attention. So the emissary said that what they do, and it's a bit in line with what we just talked about, is that they start to help people to redirect their attention. So what they get them to do is to look at things that normally they refuse to look at. So people go, no, I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested. Oh, look, right? That's what they do. And they said it might be things, articles or things online that people wouldn't normally look at, and they make them look at it. How they do that, I don't know. But what they said is that they attract their attention to the thing, so they want to look at it. And they said it might be them attending to information about politics, about doctors and medicine and all of that, about food or water, whatever. Doesn't matter. Epstein, doesn't matter. But getting people to look, and I don't know whether they do that. They go, no, I don't want to look. Oh my God, I've had a look. And now I'm awake. I don't know how it works, but that's what they do. Redirecting attention. And then dirty, rotten trick number 4. They said this, and I thought it was really interesting. They said, we reach into people's souls and ignite a longing. Okay, and I thought, okay, that sounds very nice, but I don't know what that means. So they explained, and they said that they go inside of people and they ignite this longing for more. So people are on the treadmill, they're doing the do, they're just living the same old shitey life. And what they do is they go in there, light the flame, and the person says, but wait a minute. There's got to be more than this, hasn't there? There's got to be more to this life than this shit. And I said to them, hey, are you allowed to do that? I mean, igniting people's souls and creating this need for more, this longing? And they said, yes, we are. Only because that's what the people have chosen. They've given, the emissaries can't do anything unless people give permission. But not the people, the soul, I suppose. And so what they said is that they ignite this longing. The longing opens up in the mind, there's got to be more. When you say this, there's got to be more to life than this fucking shit. Okay? What happens is, in your mind, your reticular activating system is opened up and it's looking for more. It's looking for what that more is. And so you're on this searching for more. And invariably, you'll find it, and probably the emissaries then stick a few little things that you need to look at. Look at that. Yeah, way! And what they were saying was that this ignition of longing gets people to start to look for the purpose. Why are they here? That's what the more is, There's got to be more to life than this. Why am I here? And so it gets them to start looking and searching and seeking out their purpose. And it sets them on the right track. And then I just asked them this question. It occurred to me, and I said, do people have to wake up? If you know what I mean. Do people have to be awake, like, total conspiracy nuts like what we are, to be awake? And they said, no, not at all. Many people do not need to be awake in the way that we understand it, which is waking up to the world. This explains to me, this answers everything about, but if people are asleep, that means, my family are asleep, that means they're going to go down the wrong path and all of that, and it's going to be horrible, we're going to be separated. No, because the emissaries explained something which I thought was so profound. And what they said is, you do not need to be awake to the world to be saved. Right? If we talk about it in terms of that, I know it sounds a bit religious, but like to be on the right path. What they said is, all that you need to do is to wake up to your purpose. And once we understand our purpose and start living our purpose, then, and this is what the emissary said, all purposes, every single purpose that we have is fully and completely immersed in service to others. That's what the purpose is. There is no other purpose. When you're truly living and fulfilling your purpose, you are in service to others. And as we alluded to in the last video, if you were living your life in service to others, automatically you're on the track. You're automatically there. I'll give you an example. My father-in-law could not be more asleep. He is absolutely so asleep that we spend most of our time arguing with him. Okay? But put that to one side. He has lived his entire life along with his wife, my mother-in-law, their entire lives in service to others. Everything that I see them do is service to others. Everything that he thinks about is how he can serve other people, how he can help other people. He is incredible. So what the emissaries are saying is that these people don't need to be awake. You see, and I made this mistake, and it's like, of course, I assumed that if you haven't woken up to the world, then you're lost. Then you're obviously prepared to go down the other path. The emissaries are saying, no, absolutely not. That's not the criteria for being on the right path. It's just following your purpose, because they said the purpose is service to others. Doesn't matter how it translates, it's always service to others. And if you are 51% in service to others or more, then that's where you're going. We're all going together. It doesn't matter that you don't believe, all of the things that we believe. And so that gives me a lot of peace. And I hope that it gives you a lot of peace to understand that we mustn't judge people because we think that they're asleep. The question is, are these people fulfilling their purpose? And maybe some people who are asleep are fulfilling their purpose far more than we are. And so they may be ahead of us on the path. So that's nice. I like that. So I'll leave that with you. How do you feel about that? What do you make of that? The fact that as long as somebody's following their purpose and fulfilling their purpose, they don't need to be awake. What do you think? Does that sound right to you? Does that make you feel better about all of your loved ones who you think are not awake? I'd like to know in the comments. And I love you all. Speak to you all later. Bye-bye.